822 Arizona, here's a tip. Don't use your work email if you're looking for a job. Right? This seems self-explanatory, but apparently this is a common mistake a lot of people do make. Michael Hayes is here with us, and you are from Momentum Specialized Staffing, talking about email and how it really could be hurting a lot of us looking for a job.
Well, especially if you're sending it from a employer you're working for now.
Right.
People like me just delete those
Yeah.
because we figure you're in there wasting time looking for a job while you're supposed to be doing what you should be doing.
And if you'd be doing it there, you'd probably be doing it at your next job.
Exactly.
Okay, I love this tip, and again, this might actually seem self-explanatory. And before we get to these ones, this is the one you said right out of the gate. Check your email address, make sure it works.
We get emails every week through job services and job boards, and then
Yeah.
when you go back to respond to them, they bounce back, so they're unavailable. So that was somebody that we were going to contact to interview.
Oh.
So you don't know how many times that would happen in a week or a month or whatever that you didn't test your email.
So just send yourself an email, that way you know it works.
It sounds really simple, but a lot of people don't
Yeah.
do it.
Okay. All right. Let's get to some of these others. Don't share your email with a spouse if you're looking for a job. And we have some examples here.
Right. Well, for example, it's probably not a good idea to stay married to share your email with your spouse, but also putting it into your having stuff coming in that, Bob and Susie at blah blah blah, just makes it look like you're not taking this very seriously.
Okay. And then, it's so easy to set up a new email account. I mean, you go to Yahoo or Hotmail, they're all free, right?
Yeah, you can set up an email account
Yeah.
probably 15 or 20 minutes.
Exactly.
And test it and make sure it's going to work, and make sure you retain those passcodes so you can actually get into it.
That makes sense. And then, of course, be careful with the actual name you use. You don't want Party Girl 2012.
Right, yeah,
We talked
don't
about that a couple
use,
weeks ago.
we've had somebody that put in likes, crack, at, and stuff like that.
Seriously?
Yes, we've actually
is
had that.
crazy.
So we have people do that all the time, and that's one of the first things you see when you look at that.
Of course, you're setting an impression. Let's talk about those email signatures because, there are some really cute ones out there, but you say that really could hurt your chances of getting in the door for a job interview.
I just think you're just giving yourself another thing to basically take you out of consideration. Why put something on there, religious pictures, weird sayings or something that could be the determining factor of you getting an interview or not?
Well, yeah, it might turn somebody off regardless.
Exactly.
It might be your favorite quote at the bottom of your email, but it might, trigger a bad emotion in the person that is the gatekeeper to get you in.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then last but not least, let's talk about the unusual fonts that some people use.
Well, I
And
think,
colors and things like this.
yeah, the colors, the fonts, the weird signatures. I mean, I'm looking at a resume hundreds a day. That might be cute if I was getting 3.
Yeah.
I don't have time to read through it, and frankly, I can barely see as it is, so I don't want to be looking at those all day.
What
And
do you want to look at?
I like to look at just a plain, regular, email type font.
Yeah.
And even on the resumes, you don't have to do anything. Most of them are electronic. You don't want to do anything really fancy.
Right.
The fake paper look and all that stuff really is not going to get you an interview.
And you don't, I want to look at this really quickly here. Obviously, you don't use work email. We talked about that. But check your spam folders. Explain that.
Well, a lot of times, depending on what kind of spam setting you have,
Yeah.
emails that you really want are in that spam folder. So you really need to look at that on a daily basis to make sure
It
they're
didn't go
not
there.
keeping people that really want to contact you.
Yeah.
And you need to see, you want to make sure you answer those and correct it like daily.
Sure,
Yes.
exactly. And then last but not least, I want to talk to you about this, because when jobs come up, and we know there are a lot of people looking for jobs, some people want to just massive send out their cover letter and their resume just to cover the gamut. And you say, do not do that. What should we be doing?
Well, if you're going to send an email to somebody in particular, instead of doing like the undisclosed recipient that goes to 300 people, you should do them individually to each
Personalize it.
person. And then you just cut and paste. I mean, it takes a little extra time,
Yeah.
but remember, people don't want to be thought that they're like number 250
No, that's true.
on the
It's a
300
special.
person list. Exactly.
All right, Michael Hayes, thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
time today. We appreciate that. We know this now. We've been talking